Hey guys, Skyheart here. I was recently watching some top 10, top 5, top whatever number lists, and it occurred to me, I have never really sat down and thought about what my top 5 retro LEGO heroes were, and my top 5 all-time LEGO villains were. So now I've sat down and thought it over, and I'd like to share them with you. Starting off with top 5 retro LEGO heroes, number 5 is Flex from the Alpha Team series. Ever since I was little and first started getting into LEGO, and I mean really into LEGO, Flex's smile just amazed me. It was literally ear to ear. He was just so happy about things. Yet at the same time, he was really serious about his job. And he was always there to look out for the other agents, just like all the others were. This was a really unique concept, that he could be so well-rounded, that he could be optimistic, yet serious at the same time. However, his talent is pretty generic. I mean, seriously, ropes expert? Don't all secret agents need at least some idea of how to use a rope? Just a thought. Number 4, Pepperoni from the LEGO Island series. This is a kid who can do anything. Throughout the various games that he's in, he not only learns how to skateboard and do cool tricks from that, but he can also drive, pilot a helicopter, a boat, a plane, and a rocket. He can scuba dive, fix bridges, joust. I don't think there's much that he can't do, and he's only around 9 years old is my guess. However, Pepper doesn't have a very good villain to go with him, which is why he isn't any higher on the list. Brickster really isn't as smart as Pepper is. In one of the online comics, he even gets scared off by a ghost that's actually just Pepper with a sheet draped over him. So Pepper is a great hero, but he does not have a good villain, which really sort of brings him down a bit ultimately. Number 3, Pippin Reed from Adventurers and Orient Expedition series. Now, if there's one thing I like better than a tough kid, it's a tough girl. Pippin honestly has no problem with knocking out a guard if she needs to, or anyone for that matter. However, she also has a gentler feminine side, almost mother-like at times. Again, this makes her very well-rounded. What keeps her from being any higher is that her costume is so unstable. I don't know why LEGO did that, and don't tell me it's because she's a girl. I'm a girl, and I wouldn't do that. Number 2, Cam, also from the Alpha Team series. Cam is not only another tough girl, but she's an inventor, and she can think of things before Ogle does, which puts her at a huge advantage when she's fighting with Alpha Team. She's also really cool and focused compared to Dash, who is at one point seen playing an organ in the villain's headquarters. However, she is very rarely shown working on her inventions, which is sort of a letdown for me, because I'd like to see what's going through her head when she's inventing things. But that might just be the creative geek in me. And number 1, oh, take 3 guesses, YouTube. Johnny Thunder from the Adventurers and Orient Expedition theme. Johnny has the one thing that I think every hero needs more than anything: compassion. He shows kindness to his friends, to animals, and even to his enemies once in a while. Not to mention, he's an Aussie, and a very stereotypical one at that, which means he not only has the accent, but he also has the wording. Makes my heart flutter. Moving away from heroes, let's look at our top 5 all-time LEGO villains, starting with number 5, Vladimir from the 2004-2005 Knights Kingdom series. Vladimir had a plan. We knew that. We didn't know what the plan was until he finally did it. This would keep us on our seats, wondering what he was going to do and how the Knights would stop him. This made him a really great villain, except he had one major downfall. In the first story that he came out with, his plan was to send a single Shadow Knight after the Knights. One single Shadow Knight. However, he redeems himself in the next story, when he successfully captures and nearly kills Danju. Number 4, Sam Sinister, more specifically the Sam Sinister in the Orient Expedition series. Sam Sinister has friends in really high places in this place. and this means that he has extra resources, which makes him a little bit of a better enemy for Johnny. Nonetheless, Johnny still manages to defeat him pretty easily. Number 3, Lord Garmadon from the Ninjago series. He is always one step ahead of the ninjas, and ultimately he wins, because he does end up getting the 4 golden weapons, and he does end up using them to escape the underworld, so that he can continue to cause problems in the living world. However, Lego, I think, was working a little too hard to make him scary, and now his appearance really underwhelms me. I mean, really, what am I looking at here? A black skeleton? A mutated samurai? A zombie of some kind? I play D&D, and this is still a weird creature for me. Number 2, Makuta from the Bionicle series. Makuta is literally, in my mind, a Lego version of Satan. If you look at the story, Mask of Light, you can easily compare it to the biblical Jesus, who is called the light of the world, and comes down to help us avoid the devil's influence, which is similar to Takanuba becoming the Toa of Light and freeing the Matoran from Makuta's reign. However, Satan characters don't scare me too much, so while this is an amazing concept, it doesn't really bother me, because with Satan characters, you know there'll always be a God or Jesus character to defeat him. And number 1, Ogle from the Alpha Team series. Ogle's plans are on such a huge scale that they are simply amazing. He has attempted to mutate all of the world's population, to control the oceans, to control weather, and even freeze time itself. And he's really good at doing it too. The agents need to do everything within their power in order to stop him. If any of them falter one bit, Ogle would probably win. So that is my top 5 Lego Retro Heroes and Lego All-Time Villains. Now what I'd like you to do is in the comments, let me know what your top 5 lists are for Lego. And I'll certainly reply to them, because I want to see what you guys think. So, stay strong, do your best, be yourself, and hang on tight. Things are always better in the end, and if they aren't better, it's not the end. Later!